Triple Trouble looking to bounce back, and TSM looking to continue to add as they have a lot of league play left here in week number 2. For TSM, a lot of the fans out there expecting that E-League caliber team to come out here in the RLCS this season and dominate Achieves. For Triple Trouble, it's just continuing to prove with Casio that, you know, they can hang with the top of EU, although I guess the top of EU is just everybody because everyone's beating everyone in this region.
Yes, and TSM, definitely they had to play Mousesports last weekend. They kept them under wraps. They had a nice job cutting down a lot of those pass plays, and then Triple Trouble also played Mouse last weekend, and it was the complete other end of the spectrum. Mouse really tightened up. So it'll be interesting to see what TSM brings to the table on defense like they were talking about on the desk, because Mouse kind of made it a little bit easier on them than I think they would have liked. So I think this will be a good first step into the deep end for TSM with Triple Trouble.
It starts with Remco off the back wall, and iIgnite as well back in. Still Triple Trouble. Casio, and you heard James talking about it on the desk, felt like he was very up and down last week, and you'd like to see him really continue to flesh his rollout on this Triple Trouble squad. So far, not much action to yell at. iIgnite just kicks that one against the backboard, but no hard press from either team just yet. No one willing to fully commit. Casio, another boomer. Tadpole trying to reach downfield for it. Ronicky in midfield. Casio gone on the play. Maybe the pass out to him, but it won't matter. And so TSM thwart what would have been a drive for Triple Trouble, and we go a minute Achieves without much fanfare.
Yep, it really is the big slam the ball back down to the other end of the field as far as you possibly can that TSM dealt with from Mousesports. However, TSM not able to get a handle on the ball past the midfield line. A huge miss from Ronicky actually put pressure on Tadpole to keep the ball. And here's the first chance of the game for somebody to make a play, and it'll be iIgnite. Could not get it past Ronicky on the line.
Good dive by Ronicky to pick up the save. Casio to Tadpole. Tadpole winning the challenge on the sidewall. They move back to TSM territory in front of the box. Mets able to pick up that touch. Still back and forth. No one really having a consistent possession just yet. Oh, it's a tee right down to Casio, and he strikes for Triple Trouble.
Yep. Well, Joby, sometimes
you hit the ball to the other team,
and sometimes you miss the ball completely, and Casio will capitalize off that.
Fair. Minute and a half in. And TSM looking to bounce back off of that. We've seen a volatile defense on the backboard for not just one or two EU teams, or just today in general. Not necessarily region specific. That shot blocked by Remco. Triple Trouble trying to get set up, but they've had issues trying to get set up here in midfield. TSM have certainly made them work for it, and Triple Trouble's goal just coming off of that whiff. Still, Casio in midfield, just not much to scream at. They're just great touches by TSM, not allowing a shot, and on the transition, iIgnite picks it up from Mets to tie it up.
And there's been a bunch of space to work with from both teams, and this time it's TSM who managed to not just crush one right towards the opposition. They get it up off the ceiling and it comes right down. iIgnite is in position with boost this time, and it's just a quality tip over the last man, and a nice shot ties it up.
Off the kickoff, iIgnite looking for another, maybe tries to slip around Casio, coming down. Metsanaris off the back wall. Remco there at least for the challenge, buying time for iIgnite to come in. Remco back to him, blocked by Ronicky. Good defense by Ronicky. He tries to push it out, ends up giving it back to Metsanaris, couldn't push it by him. Trying to find the space in midfield, looking for a pass to Ronicky, too far off the ball.
A lot of
Demo opens it up, iIgnite just, it's saved by Ronicky on the touch. TSM threatening here on the blue half.
A lot of parallels from Triple Trouble when Mousesports played TSM last week. Every time they have space to work with, they didn't really utilize it as effectively as possible, and the passes are not quite on the mark. And TSM are stealing it away, but here's an opportunity. It's off the back wall. Metsanaris, it is a clear into the midfield. There's Tadpole. I was wondering how long it was going to take him. And Rimco making the second clear, but right now, a good boost starve going on for Triple Trouble. iGnite makes a tough save, and Rimco will bailing him out, coming from the midfield line, and it might be in back the other way, a slow roller, and saved by Cassio.
That save earlier by iGnite was big, especially because it was a touch, unfortunately, that bounced right off of Metz's car, and iGnite had to react quickly to it. Triple Trouble was a chance for them to score, but just a great play by iGnite to keep the game tied. And almost getting him on the transition. Triple Trouble keeping it locked down for now. Ronicky content to boom the ball downfield. Gets back to it. He has the space. Back over to Tadpole. Slows it down. iGnite able to pop over him.
And I like that from Tadpole. He saw that he had space to work with, but Rimco with a pass to iGnite, and he just misses the tip. And that will be Cassio stealing away that midfield boost as well. Will force TSM to give up ground in the midfield, and overtime looking more and more likely.
Still pushing it by. Tadpole wins one. Cassio coming back, trying to win a challenge in a very awkward manner. Ronicky able to pitch it away again. He's chased the ball down to that corner a couple of times when he's been on the point. He's been booming it down pretty consistently to that corner, at least in the last 2 minutes or so. They haven't been able to work around this edge, and every time they do try to get a play set up, either their teammate gets demoed on the wing, Tadpole just above the crossbar. No follow-up forthcoming. Cassio pass to Ronicky. It's just off the crossbar and out by iGnite, making another save for TSM, keeping it to score tied as time ticks down.
But Triple Trouble keeps stealing away all this TSM corner boost, and it's allowing them to get some extra opportunities here at the end of regulation. But finally, a little bit of a hole pass to iGnite off the back wall, and it'll be Rimco to maybe have the last chance. And they will indeed smash it to the ground as they will meet. So I don't know what to expect out of overtime. I really don't, because
it's been neutral.
Yeah,
for the most part. I mean,
crush the ball up the field, see who blinks, and really nobody has. The best play so far was the TSM passing play, as Triple Trouble were capitalizing off a mistake to score there. So game one, definitely up for grabs.
And Triple Trouble have had opportunities. That shot blocked away by Ronicky. iGnite has been the one that has kept the door shut on the net transition off the post and knocked away for now. iGnite on the follow, ends up giving it back to Tadpole on the wing. Ronicky low against the back wall. Cassio there to at least keep it in TSM territory. Up high, Tadpole looking for Cassio. Metzenaris up for this. TSM able to pitch it down, and they needed it. 2 players on TSM were without boost. Triple Trouble were beginning to starve them. Now Triple Trouble find themselves back on their own half, trying to move downfield.
Yeah, Triple Trouble found themselves in that position at the end of regulation as well, stealing away a lot of corner boost pass through the top of the box. Ronicky was expecting iGnite to come up with a touch, allowed TSM to let that one just roll all the way across to safety. And maybe this long clear with no pressure coming out of Triple Trouble is just what TSM needed to get their feet back under him, get some boost in the tank, and maybe force an attack, and it will be Metzenaris. So the game ends the same way it started. A missed touch off the back wall, but this time it comes from Triple Trouble. But what a recovery from Metzenaris onto that side wall.
And poor Cassio wasn't sure what exactly was going to happen there. He had to get at least low onto the back wall so he could respond to the most amount of options, and Metz just went under and made him pay for it. Wow, that's how you finish if you're Metz. And TSM, like you said, play of the game for them in regulation was the nice passing play they had to score.
And Metz was,
and then Metz was better in overtime. Triple Trouble, after the first half, they really weren't able to generate a lot of shots. They got the one. It was just off the crossbar that iGnite saved. He prevented the rebound coming off of the crossbar.
Yeah.
And really, there was nothing else to write home for Triple Trouble. They just couldn't get any ground. They kept getting starved out, and it made transitions tough for them. So they have to find a way to grab some boost, especially in midfield.
Well, Triple Trouble they had TSM locked down at the end of regulation. They were stealing away all of TSM's boost, and it was just quality defense from TSM, despite being under all that pressure, to still make a lot of those tough saves. Like you were saying, iGnite, he made 3 in that game. That was the biggest reason they were able to survive game number 1 and get themselves into that overtime. So Triple Trouble, you had a couple of opportunities, but you got to give credit where it's due. Well done to TSM's defense, battle back in overtime, and have a good win.
And well done to Metzenaris, who had a lot of great challenges and a lot of great clears as well. iGnite was making those saves, but Metz also had a lot of crucial clears and a lot of great midfield challenges to give TSM a couple more opportunities. Game number 2, as we get into it, Triple Trouble just going to really have to continue the game they were playing. It's just about finding that sustained pressure that they had at the end of regulation so they can generate more scoring opportunities. That's really the biggest thing hurting Triple Trouble right now.
Would like to definitely see, again, I mentioned it during game one, a lot of parallels for how TSM was playing Mouse. Tons of space being given by both teams in the midfield. The first team that's able to bring the ball down, slow it down, and command pace of play, I definitely feel will hold an advantage here in game two.
We're already underway. ignite. TSM. ignite up again from the pass onto Mets. Double commit off the backboard. Tadpole picks this up, buys the necessary time. TSM looking, but Triple Trouble able to clear it back downfield.
There we go. ignite will force a challenge and also win it. Remco not able to make the follow-up touch.
But it's still good positioning by Triple Trouble on that play, knowing that that challenge is going to come through, still ready in case you lose that challenge. In that case, they did as well.
But you're already seeing the benefits. It took ignite one opportunity. He had all the time in the world, caught the ball in the corner, and now TSM are in the driving seat. Yeah, Triple Trouble are currently pushing, but Triple Trouble are pushing into TSM while TSM's ready. And that win from Casio might have just evened things out.
ignite out to the corner. Tadpole rushing towards it and pinches out back towards midfield. Triple Trouble have to reset. No one immediately ready for it. Casio tees this up again. Buying a little more time, but Triple Trouble have to move down the field now. And it's kicked back again.
And now, free ball for Triple Trouble. Casio on the first touch, keeping it close, but a disastrous loss. And thankfully, Ronicky has the boost to get up and take that away off the back wall.
Remco again, a boomer down the field. Metsonaris is there, off the backboard and saved by Ronicky. ignite rolls that one right into Casio. He picks up the save. Ronicky's already downfield, and it's knocked back to midfield. Tadpole, he's got space in mid. What does he do? Well, he got challenged away. Maybe got a little too far away from him. Just wanted to force the challenge. He does keep the ball in TSM territory, but TSM have the ball now, and Remco ended up pitching that one back to the blue half, and TSM forced to play some corner defense again.
Yeah, that misread for Metsonaris will allow Triple Trouble to press here. They've got the advantage in the midfield with space on the map, and nice job from ignite to go cut that one out and get it going back the other way as Casio has to clear it across two defenders. Metsonaris will need help if he wants to get it there, but Ronicky, other thoughts, and Remco speedy out of the midfield, but still, this is a very do not make a mistake game.
Yeah, they're very, I won't say turtle-like gameplay, but it certainly feels passive. And just trying to find that one correct, like you said, who makes the first mistake? Last game, it was TSM who made the first mistake. They eventually came up with the victory. Still cannot punch a hole either side. It's these long, deep passes that they're going for, and they're wasting so much boost on these plays, and that's why the sustained offense is never really able to happen for either team, because they're looking to beat them on the transition. They're trying to force the transition. It's not working. They have to find a new way to move downfield. That one pitched down, but again, someone's there on the rotation for TSM. They have been every time. Very, very even, very defensive.
It's a really tough opportunity for Ronicky to try and capitalize on because he didn't have a lot of boost in the tank. And then had to take that half second of thought, but ignite wins a big challenge, but he needs help. And again, everybody's in the right place at the right time where they need to be and making the touches they need. And Tadpole, I like the idea here, but the execution is a little awkward. Those balls coming off the back wall like that, you need to be able to make sure they go up so you can jump out and get that air dribble and force the challenge. If you tip it down like that, everyone from TSM is going to be looking at it thinking we got to go challenge that because maybe it goes right in.
Even when Triple Trouble looked like they could get something set up on the third, they're taken out by a demo. Quick pass past midfield. Ronicky, ignite's already there. It's just great positioning by TSM all around. Even on the transition, Triple Trouble's there to pick up before the shot can even get close to the box. Dump down. ignite already up for this off the corner. What can they do with it? He went another touch off. Not the best touch around. Trying to fly in was Remco, but Casio was very quick on the response on that kick out to midfield.
This is a good opportunity for TSM to really put pressure on Triple Trouble near the end of regulation. They're starting to stretch the boost a little thin, but unfortunately a missed touch. Metsonaris cannot win the follow-up challenge, and Triple Trouble will escape. But iGnite again, forcing the ball back the other way. Ronicky actually doesn't have boost.
No one has boost.
Norris will not be able to get the ball out to Remco. And it will be covered up again as Triple Trouble rush back to net for the final 10 seconds.
And they also picked up both of their corner boosts. Everyone now at 100 on the transition. One man
Remco
back.
has none.
He's got to make the touch. Remco, not the best one. It's right to Ronicky, and he passes it to the middle. And Cassio blocked out.
Whoa,
the shot
surprise!
on target and saved by Metzenaris as we head to overtime.
Nice reactions from Metzenaris, and it was actually TSM who found themselves in a dangerous spot at the end of regulation. Remco racing back to net with no boost. Did not make the greatest clear, but they will gain possession at the start of overtime in game 2. They won the last one. There's an old saying in chess. You win if you make the second to last mistake. And you'll have to see if Triple Trouble make the last one again as they did in game 1.
Well, Metzenaris tries to get the start at midfield. The miss by Tadpole may afford them the opportunity. iGnite off the ceiling, but Tadpole has it red. Really, this is just a solid defensive performance for both teams. I know we were praising TSM earlier for it, but Triple Trouble, Tadpole off the backboard, blocked by iGnite, but the double commit might kill them. Ronicky can't get back to it. Triple Trouble, an opportunity squandered. They can't score. TSM and everyone.
No, TSM.
The miscommunication, but Triple Trouble not able to capitalize on that. They do grab possession, so they at least get that out of it. Cassio, though, can't get a solid touch, so Metzenaris is going to take it out.
But he has no boost, and all he could do was just hand it to Triple Trouble in the midfield. He's got it back to Ronicky, and again, it's Remco coming out of the net, and he needs to find a way to hang on to the ball if TSM wants to break out of this. iGnite will do just that, but can he make the follow-up touch?
Great block. Just a great block by Metzenaris. Allows Remco to get this touch and almost has the read off the ceiling. iGnite cannot get it back over. Ronicky has it blocked. Metzenaris, side flipping out. Don't think he had, iGnite had plenty of boost, just side flipped out on it. TSM, the touch just gave it away. Triple Trouble, Demo opens it up. Ronicky can't put it on target. Tadpole shot blocked by iGnite. TSM having to make some goal line stands. They've answered the call every single time. Now in the corner, Remco to Metz, broken up by Tadpole. The transition, flipping forward was Cassio, but iGnite takes the ball away, carries it out. Triple Trouble trying to press now. You see them cutting off in midfield, forcing the issue in the corner, trying to bring the ball down, forcing a bad challenge out of TSM. But TSM, they have been the toughest nut to crack. Flipping it up, and there it is for Remco going down the field. TSM take game number 2.
Well, Triple Trouble win challenge after challenge and put TSM in so many tough positions in game number 2, but it comes down to Remco beating the first man in the midfield and the second one trying to buy time for his teammates to get reset, and he just couldn't make the challenge at the critical moment. And again, TSM will weather the storm.
5 saves by Remco in that game, and really a lot of saves that maybe weren't registered, or it was just preventing shots on net from Triple Trouble. And you can really say this about both teams in this series. It was great positioning overall. Each team was just adapting to what the other team was doing, and we were playing, it was Boomer Town for the large portion of regulation. No one was really able to gain a foothold.
Well, the last half,
too much respect for how much space they had.
The last half of game number 2 was definitely Triple Trouble pressuring TSM, and it was all on TSM to handle those tough situations, which they did a great job of. Triple Trouble, you know, you were so close. You had, I think, maybe 2 quality chances where TSM couldn't do anything about it, and those were the ones that they missed out on. Other than that, TSM was locked down on defense. So Triple Trouble, you did great, except for the 1% that really mattered, and then Remco just beat you one-on-one. And
it has to be frustrating. There was a play that I remember, Tadpole, he's against the corner. He actually gets a good touch onto the backboard, and it's really a really hard touch against the backboard, but iGnite was already there. He drove up the back wall forever ago. He's like, Tadpole, I see you coming. It's not going to happen. So many times he prevented all those shots. It was great defensive positioning, but defense only gets you so far in Rocket League. You love to say that
offense wins the game.
Rocket League is the game where offense wins.
And TSM, they've gotten away with a little bit, but they will start off with a kickoff 1 second into game number 3, and now they have the lead.
Yeah, enough defense off the kickoff. It's just slower to the ball. Couldn't get back to it. He snuck it right between them.
Well, that's what you like.
1 second.
That's a nice little buffer for TSM. They've had to fight for the first games in this series, and very curious to see what Triple Trouble does now that they
have to play with this handicap.
they have to play with a handicap.
And it was
again,
already tough for them to score.
Their challenge game has been so good. They've earned plenty of pressure against TSM off the midfield line, but you wonder if maybe that first goal kind of lights the fire on TSM and they start to box in Triple Trouble a little bit.
Tadpole ends up giving it right back to I. Remco to I. Shot off the post and in. TSM.
And iXnite has been having a bit of a rough offseason, not able to find the back of the net a few times, but Remco gives them another chance here. And on the money, corner of the net and right into the back. 2-goal lead.
29 seconds in. It took more than 5 minutes to get more than a goal. And what feels like the rest of the series just has been incredibly defensive, but TSM come out striking early. And does the offense continue? Metzenaris cuts around. Ronicky booms this one away. Triple Trouble, Cassio getting over one, looking for Tadpole. Tadpole wins. And Cassio ends up giving that one away to iXnite, maybe expecting his teammate to be on the sidewall, off the crossbar, can't find the touch for iXnite, who has been a threat against that enemy, or the opponent's backboard, excuse me.
And
couldn't find it that time.
Triple Trouble as well. You really see it in how they're approaching the challenges now. They are trying to force things as much as they can because they know it's been tough to score this series. They've only scored one back at game number 1 at about the 3.5-minute mark. And at this point, they will try and force things. A 2-goal lead is not so easy to overcome as you would imagine because TSM have been lights out on defense.
So far, only 2 shots registered for Triple Trouble, 4 on the side of TSM. Metzenaris, he may not get the ball, he gets the boost. TSM continue to hunt. See iXnite playing on the back wall, just trying to harass the Triple Trouble defense. They've been doing that all series long, having to jump up to make a save quickly. iXnite, he does it again. Ronicky looking for somebody, but it's only to Remco. Cassio picks this up in midfield. Triple Trouble, and a great challenge by Cassio buys Triple Trouble some time to get reset quickly, allows Ronicky to take this out from midfield, but the defense from TSM again. Metzenaris there on the challenge. Tadpole off the ceiling and the back wall, blocked again by iXnite. His reads have been 100%. Metzenaris back over to iXnite to Remco. TSM moved down to Triple Trouble territory. Knocked around by Ronicky. Metzenaris just waiting for that next touch. Triple Trouble had given them the ball.
And Tadpole has been going for a lot of aggressive challenges. When he gets onto that attacking third, iXnite goes straight through him on his own back wall, though. And Triple Trouble have been so close to winning some of these challenges to put the pressure on TSM. Just a little bit too far away, though, as Cassio still can't get through iXnite. Like you said,
just has the reads, man.
That guy's been on the money for this series, absolutely. Remco with a beautiful fake, but nothing will come of it. He will again, though, steal away that precious corner boost for Triple Trouble and try and make it as difficult as possible for them.
Missing on the pass. Might have been blocked anyway. Remco looking for I shot on it.
You knew it.
iXnite again.
You knew
but
this
you
one.
raise your hands up before I even touched the ball. It was 100% the whole way. 3-0 for TSM.
He was just down there grabbing boost when he missed the challenge, and Remco says, "Here you go, buddy."
Put it in for me.
Make something happen, and boy did he. And that could absolutely be the end of this game. I don't even think Triple Trouble have a chance at 2 minutes left. They just haven't been able to break down TSM at all.
No, only 3 shots on net. And have they gotten past the attacking third? It doesn't really feel like it in game number 3. TSM.
It's get past the midfield line, miss the next challenge, and repeat.
Retreat.
it's
retreat, repeat, yeah.
Yeah, they just don't have the challenge game right in front of TSM's net. They haven't been able to boost starve them enough to where somebody can't make a great play on defense. And TSM, they will be more than happy, as iXnite actually might have stretched himself too thin, and Metzenaris has to bail him out.
And he's there to get on the wraparound. It doesn't matter. Triple Trouble still, I mean, earlier in this game, you said Tadpole specifically, but they really
all of them
dive at some of these challenges in the attacking third, and it
because they have to.
They do, but even when they're down by 2 early in the game, you have 4 minutes left to score 2 goals. Are they really feeling that much pressure?
Absolutely,
and they absolutely were.
Because this is match point.
Yeah.
For Triple Trouble, you can't lose anymore. It started off in perhaps the worst way possible, where the guy going for kickoff doesn't touch the ball, and the guy behind him was ready for something other than that, and it just went straight in 1 second in. And TSM, they've been squeaking by in games 1 and 2. And then to top that off, it took 20 seconds, and then TSM put a second one. And Triple Trouble, the last time they scored was maybe a quarter of the way through game 1.
Yesterday, it feels like.
You gotta stretch.
It really does. The defensive positioning, even when they were being pressed, even the shot on net, it's blocked. It doesn't matter what Triple Trouble do, even when they do have the pressure, because TSM's positioning on defense have been by far near perfect. And as time expires, TSM cruise against Triple Trouble in this series, and boy, do they look strong against this team right now. I'm really impressed with all 3 of these players. I don't think there's any exact one person you can be like, all right, he was the exact key for TSM